With that said, let me introduce my very first guest this hour. He goes by the name Gitegi Kimotho, and he's a spoken word artist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Maze, ni mafuta gani unapaka hizo mandevu?
Sema ni jeans.
It's so full.
Thank you.
Na
That's
no
a compliment,
shave,
by the way.
It's totally a compliment. Na bado uko na nywele huku nyuma.
Unfortunately, I am not practicing No Shave November this year.
Okay.
I had to trim a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, yours looks like you can unaweza funikwa na hizo kinywele.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Anyway, Gitegi, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you're an interesting guy. I like your look. You have a very cool, casual look.
Aww.
But you're also, but you're also an economist student.
Yes, I am. I am a continuing economics and finance student.
Look at you.
Sindo tumekwamia shule. Tumekataa kumaliza. But
My way, big up for that. Young people need to know that education is very important.
Yeah, sure. Because as much as you have other things in life, I mean, stick to the books. Make sure umemaliza. Lakini pia, mi ni mkikuyu sana. Unajua?
Okay.
So tunatry kubalance between school and business hapa nje and see how it all works out. Yes.
All right. So you're an economist student, but you're also a poet.
Yes,
so you
I
have
am.
this creative side to you as well.
Yeah, sure. Actually, before... yes, I am a spoken word artist and I am also a photographer. So basically, I love telling stories. I love telling the African story as an African, because most African stories are told by people who are not really African. So they tell our stories in their context, not in our context. So basically, I believe I have the mandate to tell our stories in an African context.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's interesting?
Yes.
I was also an economics student. That's my undergrad as well.
Ah.
Yeah, but I'm also
Awesome.
creative. So you can do both.
Yeah, you can.
You can absolutely do both. Where
Sure.
did poetry begin for you?
For me, poetry began quite some time ago, because I was in high school. I used to write, but for me, spoken word was basically part of my diary, because I used to write short pieces on my diary, basically just about what I'm going through in my high school life, because again, in high school I wasn't really this outspoken person, so I needed a place to share, and for me the best part was my book. So when and I wasn't privileged to be in Nairobi, so uko mashambani spoken word haijulikani, watu hawajui spoken word ni nini, so pia mimi sikuwa najua naandikanga nini. So when now after school coming back to Nairobi, I met a couple of my friends. One of them is a great friend of mine. His name is Jeremy. He was in Nairobi Upper Hill, so yeye alikuwa ameinteract na spoken word. So yeye ndio aliniintroduce, akaniambia what you do is spoken word, and so from hapo nikatry ku get platforms na channels zenye naweza grow, and that is how I became me now.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's been quite a journey, I assume, right? We were talking about promoting local content in the first hour. How do you feel Kenyans are taking up spoken word and poetry? Are we?
We have, yes, we are, but we still have a long way to go. I'm basically just comparing, because I was first on stage in 2012, and comparing how life was back then and where we are right now, then I'd say Kenyan poetry has grown. Kenyan spoken word has grown, both in terms of us as poets and the audience, because the audience is appreciating, because we now have spoken word events that are totally sold out. We have a lot of corporates now again having their eye on the spoken word, which wasn't really so much back in the days. So I believe we still have a long way to go, but we are at the right point right now.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand you like to address some pretty controversial issues, though, with your poetry. What are some of the things you like to really talk about or address through your poetry?
Ideally for me, I love getting into a space, any space that I feel needs to be addressed, regardless of... now, most people say it is controversial, but at the end of the day, I believe what makes something controversial is the fact that we all try to shy away from speaking about it.
So what are some of those topics?
Mostly right now, it's about politics, and issues are about the woman. The woman.
Issues about the woman?
A girl child, basically.
Okay.
You understand? And for me, I feel like we have not really empowered the girl child enough, and I feel, again, our political structures in Kenya are quite immature, are still very, very immature. So I feel...
Wow, that's a big statement coming from you as a boy child, right? Because I mean, as a man child, because sana sana pia, there's always a lot of like clapback about oh, constantly girl child, na boy child, and naumia. But you seem to be taking a different view.
I think ni juu niligrow up nikifunzwa mwanaume ni wa kujipigania, unapata. But sahi we understand as much as we are trying to say that the boy child has been neglected, then again I believe empowering the boy child also greatly depends on how much we empower the girl child in Kenya right now. Because I mean, the girl child, those are our sisters, those are our mothers, those are our wives. So at the end of the day, as much as if we are so empowered as boys and we do not empower the woman, then I believe, and we all understand, the woman is the fundamental backbone to the family structure, which again, family grows into the society, and then the society into a nation, and then the nation into a continent. Basically, so I believe we first of all need to address issues around the girl child first, and then probably the rest can come in. But also again, I say, by empowering the girl child does not mean we stop empowering the boy child.
Right. And it's not that it's actually going to take
it's
time.
not a competition.
The research says it's actually going to take like 140 something years, I think, for the girl child to catch up to the boy child.
Exactly.
So it's like we need each other, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So you also have an initiative called the Purpose Poetry. Tell me what that's about.
So basically, Purpose Poetry is an initiative where we try to see young poets come up, and because again, we understand we are at a point in the country where the kind of content that people are producing is we have a lot to debate around the kind of content that people are producing. So basically, as Purpose Poetry, we are just trying to mold young poets and spoken word artists and vocalists who will come out and give content that is relevant to our current age and time, and will also try to advocate for positive living.
Is that something you sort of stumbled upon, or had you always sort of envisioned yourself doing that?
I would say I stumbled upon it, but that was quite back, because now maybe to mention this, I am in Kenyatta University. So after winning the best solo spoken word performer in 2013 and 2014 KU Culture Week, that made a lot of young poets now want to ask for advice a lot from me. So basically, that is when I realized then I now have an opportunity to build a poet, or a number of poets who I feel would have done what I feel I cannot do, because their topics I really can't address, their audiences I really can't get to. Now, I felt like with Purpose Poetry, I was giving a piece of myself to everyone who was coming on board, and with that, I felt like it was giving myself again to a bigger audience, rather than just having myself perform.
Right.
Yes.
And I mean, so you're doing both economics, you're a poet, photographer. You know, where do you see yourself? Like, is this, you want to pursue both? Is that a tension that exists for you? You know, picking one or the other, or for you, are you just decided that you want to pursue both?
Okay, I'd say currently, at the moment, I'd say I really don't envision myself so much as an economist. But again, I feel like whatever I'm gaining from studies and all that is something that participates greatly in building me, not just as a performer, but also the business side of being a performer.
Okay.
And again, also as Purpose Poetry, having other people look up to you, then it also means, because you will find someone who asks you whether poetry pays.
Yeah.
If again you tell them that poetry pays and then they come on board, then you also need to work with them and understand how the whole art in their head could be transformed into a business.
Gotcha.
And basically for me, I feel like economics has really done a great part for me in building me in that area. And also again, I'd say the shoulders I have rubbed as a student, again, have played a very big role in building me, because that makes me understand how to deal with the corporates when it comes to events. It helps me basically understand the whole business side, being a creative, and with those two, I feel I am at quite an advantage point.
All right. Well, before we let you go, we have to give you a chance to, utupe kionjo. Lazima tuhakikishe indeed you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're doing what you say you do. So tell me about a piece that you can do for us.
So maybe we could do one piece,
Yeah.
maybe a new piece, because I feel like doing a new piece today.
What's it called?
Call it Neno.
Neno.
Yeah.
All
Everyone
right.
is different before and after Neno.
All right.
Yes.
Take it away.
Sawa. So uniform wakaita police reform. Zona bado hongo ndio form. Tuko na minyona tumekataa kudiwom. Hii si Kenya ilipiganiwa na watu wa before tujue tutakuwa under slavery ya wa China. Gone are the days tulienjoy chai na mkate, walingoja tupande wheat wakate, na sasa wameimport ngano, na wale tulichagua watu tete ni scandal tu za ngono. Story ya Sharon iliendaje? Bado haijatatuliwa. Unfortunately justice ya watu wa ligi yake, so sad to lose another prostitute like that, but that's a story for another day. Najua mpendi nikiita closed door prostitution. So handshake ikashake up nation. Squeeze opposition ndo iko forefront kuoppose, mkono iko raised against the government, proof that politically loyalty is just, but awada kuna policies kuwa permanent isipokuwa ufisadi. Idadi ya ajali barabarani na watu wameaga under mysterious circumstances, complemented by watu wameaga kwa clashes na njaa kwa country na celebrate 50 years of freedom and justice is just but the wicked practice ya kufunika broken bones na bandages tukipaka makeup juu ya scars. Waliabolish spaceships, vile walisikia we are aiming for the stars, but hatutachoka kubonga. Hizi smiles hazita fade, si we are stars. Life is short, but wengine wanaishorten even further. Taxes kwa kamba za kujinyonga na rat and rat enough kufeed a whole generation. Scandal ya sukari wakashuga coat. Tunajikaza kuogelea, wana float na slogan zao ni we are in the same boat. Tulipatia wezi kazi na sasa tunazua hawawezi kazi. Kazi yao ni kuiba, kunyanyasa na kunajisi. Wametu brainwash sote, mapolisi, makasisi na hata pia sisi. Tulikosa kumwamini msichana mwenye mini, sasa tumemuoa kahaba kwenye dera na tunaogopa kuteta. Hii si moto na pepeta, ni vile sisi wananchi ndo tunateseka. I'm not a violent man, but if it's for my rights then I will fight. Haki ya Mungu I will fight, kama kifo basi tufe. Mnabomoa manyumba, mjenge mabarabara, lakini sisi wananchi mtatujenga lini? Makanisa pia, mbona mna behave kawa kosa dini? Ibada mmegeuza biashara badala ya kueneza injili. Najua ipo wa kweli, lakini swali ni wapi sauti? Tupeni neno. Yo.
Hey. Okay, you're not holding back then. I hear you. Hey, hadi kifo.
Yeah. You know,
wow.
You'd rather die for something than live for nothing.
Wow. Hey, okay. Gitegi Kimotho, asante sana for coming through. Wayne Lucy Sam says Naivasha Mirera tuned in. Say hi to Kimotho and he is going far. Alicia Mso as well tuned in from Nyeri. Twin Enoch as well. Asante sana to all of you guys for your comments and your feedback for him. And thank you for coming through to the show.
Welcome.
How can people follow your work? Very quickly.
On social media, Gitegi Kimotho, on all social media platforms.
Okay.
And you can also catch us live at the Michael Joseph Center on the 29th of this month.
All right.
Yes, we
Charges?
will be 500 for advanced, 800 at the gate. We have group tickets admitting 5 going for 2,000 shillings only.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming through and all the best to you.
Welcome.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break right now as we get ready for our next guest here on Style and Culture Friday. And we're going to be talking about beautiful African designs that you should have in your closet. Stay tuned. This is Full Circle with Joyce.